I must have all the cosmic bricks I can get my hands on.
My work progresses.
Progress faster.
This is what I've been reduced to, relying on such pitiful mortal creatures for my plans, though he does have a cool throne and a metal face.
Director Fury, Reed Richards is here.
Mr. Fantastic himself. Any breakthroughs on that cosmic brick I sent you?
Actually, I could use some help. Is Tony Stark around?
He's working on something else. I have another Avenger here.
I'm actually the first Avenger, sir.
Do you have much experience with theoretical quantum mechanics and exotic nano-derived power sources?
I got an A+ in American history.
Director Fury, we have confirmation that more of those bricks hit the open ocean.
Hill, get me a SHIELD research sub to gather those cosmic bricks. I want some answers. Cap, you head to the Baxter building with Reed Richards and help out the best you can.
I can always sell some war bonds.
Hill, another important thing. Lunch. Order in some shawarma. Stark knows a spot.
Gentlemen, we need you back at the Baxter building pronto. Director Fury wants as much info on those cosmic bricks as you can find.
Building? Looks like there's something going on down there.
Uh-oh. Looks like the Fantastic Four fan club's in town.
Could be tricky landing in the middle of that crowd.
You're right. Aim for the park across the street. That shouldn't be happening. The security system must be on the blink.
Let me through so we can look for a way to shut it down.
We are live outside the Baxter building, headquarters of the beloved Manhattan hero group, the Fantastic Four. There appears to have been some sort of break-in. Witnesses at the scene heard what they thought to be a crash coming from the rooftop. Could the thing have just taken a tumble in the shower? Or is something more sinister afoot for Reed Richards and his cohorts? Stay tuned for more details as they develop.
On the wall, do we have something that would fit in that? You should be able to glide across here.
Another system on the blink?
No, it's working just fine. Unfortunately. I'd like to know exactly who's using it.
The top 5 floors of the Baxter Building are home to the Fantastic Four. Up-to-date plans are unavailable, as Reed Richards is continuously reconfiguring the layout of his labs.
Dr. Doom, it's Dr. Octopus. I found it. Destroy them, my Octobots!
LEGO Marvel Superheroes Walkthrough. This is the second level of the game. I should mention that there are 15 levels inside this game, so it's a pretty lengthy game level-wise, but overall, compared to many other games, it's not too long at all. So in this level, you get to play as, what's his name from the Fantastic Four, the stretch guy, I forgot his name, and Captain America. So these two people have some unique abilities, and that's mainly that Captain America throws his shield at shield switches, which only work if you throw his shield at them. There are also these Fantastic Four spots that you need this guy from the Fantastic Four to use, and various spots will let you do useful things, like right there you can screw in the bolts into the shield switch, and then you can throw Captain America's shield into the switch. Now of course all of this was pretty much explained in the overworld, playing the little part of the overworld that you got to play before you join this level. I'm not going to bother narrating over the overworld parts just because there's too many cutscenes between the beginning of the level and also at the end of a level that I just think it's not worth my time to narrate the little small short parts of that part of the game. So right here, another useful thing that you learn from Captain America is that you can use his shields to douse fires. Unfortunately, it does not always permanently douse them, and that's probably just to keep it so you can remember that you have to get 2 people over to different parts of the level in different ways. So for this example, to get on the left side of this area, you have to use Captain America, as I just did, and to get the Fantastic Four scientist doctor guy, you need to build this grate, and he can slip in through there because he can basically make himself a snake, or like Gumby. He always reminds me of Gumby in the Lego form, and it's a little bit creepy to me how his head expands or how his neck lengthens and his arms get longer whenever he jumps. I don't know, that just looks weird. So another thing that this guy can do is similar to Spider-Man, and I think he is under the web-slinging category, except he can't always do things that Spider-Man can. And that's basically, you can use this Fantastic Four guy to throw his arm at a handle and then pull the handle out. There are also going to be these terminals in various places that sometimes only the scientist can do. So Tony Stark can do them, this Fantastic Four guy can do them, and a few other people probably, most definitely can do them. I just can't think of their name right now. Now, if you watched my first video in this walkthrough, you may remember how I noticed, or how I said that this game sometimes feels cluttered and how a lot of stuff goes on and how there's a little bit too much detail, and I think that's mainly prominent inside this level because there's all this stuff, there's all these tubes, all these scientific type of things. They remind me of the Alien Lego sets that you used to see on TV back in the early 2000s or whenever that was. I don't even know if they still have those, but it's really cool, but it's almost like there's just too much stuff, and sometimes you don't know what you can and can't destroy, and sometimes it's amazing how clean that a level looks if you take the time to destroy everything. So right here is an example of another ability of Captain America, and you get to use his immortal invincible shield to move this beam around various places. And you will be doing this many times throughout this game, so you will want to get used to it. For this first one, you need to aim it at the two little satellites that are on either side, and it can be a little bit tricky trying to find out which ones you're supposed to hit at this this early part of the game, but later on it's a lot more obvious what you're supposed to do. And if you'll also notice, these beams are extremely destructive. They can destroy pretty much any Lego in just a couple of hits. And it's pretty useful, especially when some of the characters have these beams, but all you need to do is just target it on these satellites and make the lights go up. Then the Fantastic Four symbol will split apart and show this very weird contraption. So now that you're on the rooftops, you need to keep going after Dr. Octopus. Or Doc Ock, I guess. And this boss fight, it's not even really a boss fight. There's kind of a fight at the end of the level, but I wasn't really too happy with it. I thought it was kind of underdone for Doc Ock anyway. But it is pretty fun. So, as always with any LEGO game, you're always going to run into things that you can't do unless you're in free play. So that car that's on top of the roof there, you can't do anything with that because you need a magnetic character, and you're not going to get a magnetic character either until you buy one in the overworld or until you play as Magneto later in the game. So, as you saw there with Captain America, I was kind of failing and trying to jump on to the next area. But I can't do that because the third pole is not in position yet. This Fantastic Four guy has the ability to glide because he can also make himself into a pancake. So you can get him over here in that way. And you're also going to need to move that satellite by breaking these Legos down here, building this switch or this turn pole, and then move the satellite over so Captain America can jump on the poles and make his way to this part of the level. So this kind of acrobatic part really reminds me of Lego Batman DC superheroes, where you get to play as Robin and basically go all parkour on everything, or Nightwing, or whatever you want to say. But you know, this pole swinging has been in many Lego games, and it works pretty well. You just have to jump on it, and then you tap A in the direction that you want to. Well, you hold down the analog stick in the direction you want to jump while tapping A, and you should jump on to the next pole without falling off. So then, of course, use Captain America's shield to hit this switch, but make sure you get far enough away that you can actually target it. And that's another problem in this game. Sometimes, actually any Lego game, you want to target something, you have to step back from it so you can actually hit it. And once you do that, you need to use Captain America. What am I saying? You need to use the guy from the Fantastic Four to go through this grate so he can get on this part of the level. Next thing you need to do is knock over the water tower, which is kind of up in the by that billboard there, but you can destroy these other Legos sitting around here if you so desire. So to open up this water tower, you need to destroy these Lego bricks here and build this Fantastic Four spot so Mr. Fantastic, what's his name, can turn into another useful object to open up the water tower, which I guess he just pumps it filled with water. Okay, that's one way of taking it down. And then you can build the Legos that are on top of that, and I think you make a rope that lets you zipline your way across the building gap. So, yep. And both Captain America and this Fantastic Four guy can do that. So of course you get attacked by Dr. Rock, and what you need to do here is not tap Y like a maniac like I was doing, but just tap it once, switch to Captain America, and then attack Ock so you can continue on with the level. And it's a little bit confusing with that Y because it flashes. It's like press Y, and so you press Y. And it really means press Y once. So I think that would have been better if it had just been a solid Y. I don't know. I mean, you figure it out eventually, but there you go. So here you need to use Captain America's shield to knock down the hotel sign, and that will, of course, let you advance further into this level. So in most of my LEGO games, I usually play with my brother General Scar, but because of college, we are now living in different parts of the country, so he is actually not here to play with me. Meaning that this entire walkthrough will be single player, so for those of you who like hearing General Scar, hearing his input or whatever, sorry, he won't be here. Although he hasn't really narrated anything with me in a very long time. The last thing was LEGO City Undercover Wii U, and he actually did the last couple of videos for that because, like I said, we're in different parts of the country, and I didn't actually play that game. He played the whole game. I just helped narrate the first half of the walkthrough. Anyway, moving on. The meter that you see at the top of the screen there, for those of you who don't know, like right there, that stud meter, if you finish that, I think it's called the True Believer meter inside LEGO Marvel. And in the other games, it was things like True Wizard, if you were in LEGO Harry Potter, True Jedi in Star Wars, I think True Treasure Hunter or something in LEGO Indiana Jones. I mean, I don't know, it's true something. And basically, if you get all of them, you get to unlock something. I'm not sure what you unlock in this game if you get them all, but it's probably some fancy little secret, and I'm sure you get gold bricks. When you are here, you need to use Captain America on the top to open up the elevator for the Fantastic Four, because even though the Fantastic Four guy can do anything, well, pretty much anything that he wants, he cannot go over fires, because I guess he cannot become a fireproof pancake. Well, I kind of wonder, if you had all these super suits, why wouldn't you make them fireproof? I don't know. Anyway, use the shield to open up the switch. The elevator will move down, and of course there's an enemy in there. You will notice that is a common occurrence inside this game. There will always be an enemy inside any of the elevators that you have to go on. And just take that enemy out, then come over here. So when you fly down with the Fantastic Four guy, you need to destroy these bricks right next to this landing zone, and then build them so you can make another zip line for Captain America, because he has no other way of making it over there. And of course you will notice Dr. Octopus sitting on top of the sign, or I guess in the middle of the sign, looking all happy and laid back and not a care in this world because he's taking it over, right? So just build the zipline once you get all these stupid enemies out of the way. It's really annoying in this game because a lot of the enemies, they require 2 hits to get taken out. So you're like punching them, hitting them, battling them for what feels like forever sometimes. And I guess it's okay. I mean, you do need some action in a LEGO game, but sometimes when they send enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy, it's just kind of tedious, but it's not too bad. So what you need to do is knock Dr. Octopus off of the billboard, and then switch to the Fantastic Four guy, go in the sewer grating, or whatever you want to call it, and then pull the Lego off of the billboard with his extendable arms. Build the Fantastic Four spot, step in it with the Fantastic Four character, and use the wrecking ball to knock him onto the wall.
Parker, do your job! I want some play for bugle stories on the net thing, or interface.
Yes, sir. Netface.
You understand the web, don't you?
The web? Yeah, it's a job and a hobby.
Doc Octopus? You're a real doctor, right? Because I have a pain right here, and it goes around there. Ooh, if I've been over there, then wow!
Your cheap health plan doesn't cover office visits.
Parker! Parker! I need some footage of this for the website. How hard could it be? I mean, this time the news is coming to us!
You could record it with your smartphone, JJ, if you could figure out how to turn it on. Hey, guys.
I have to admit that that was a pretty funny cutscene as far as taking a crack at modern technology goes. So, of course, Spider-Man makes his way into the picture, and he pretty much does that for most of the game. You will probably have him as a playable character in, I would say, more than half of the levels. And I think that's probably just so they can give you a web-slinging character. So something that they've started doing with these newer LEGO games is leaving save points inside the levels, and that's probably because these levels are pretty long. Some of them are only about 10-15 minutes of actual gameplay, some are upwards of 30 minutes. So they're long levels, there's 15 of them, ends up being around 6-7 hours long. Pretty lengthy game, especially if you don't buy it at full price. And I just say that because I don't honestly believe any LEGO game is worth it at a full-blown $50. I think maybe closer to 30 or 20 is way better value. And even then, there's tons of content inside these games. And, I mean, I can just imagine them being perfect Christmas presents for, like, you know, parents who want their kids to be occupied. But even saying that, I don't think they're only kids games. I mean, there's enough older references that anybody's allowed to play them. So let's move on from that random subject and keep going with this level. So there are going to be a few more challenges because you have 3 characters now. And that's not really a lot compared to some of the other levels, although actually I think you mainly only ever use 3 characters. And sometimes that's really annoying, especially when you're not playing on co-op, because you have to constantly switch between character to character. Like right here, if I was playing as someone else, I would have to, well, I am playing as someone else right now, but you have to switch to the Fantastic Four scientist to use this terminal. And in other parts of this game, you're going to be doing something that requires Spider-Man, then the very next step requires Captain America, then it requires Iron Man, or whoever else you have with you. And it's kind of annoying. I never realized how annoying that can be in a LEGO game. Especially when you're not playing co-op, because if you're playing co-op, your friend is always there to help you along. But on single player, I never really realized how tedious LEGO games can be, but they are still fun, so it's excusable. This game is also really good at giving you hints where you don't need them, and not giving you hints when you want them. And I say that because, like that, the hint that just showed up on the screen, well, you'll see that the entire game, and I couldn't find any option to turn it off. I'm playing on the Xbox. I don't know if I'm just looking in the wrong spot or if it's just not there, but I couldn't find any option to turn any of those hints off. So you're going to see them throughout this entire walkthrough, and it was getting a little bit annoying near the end when it was telling me how to use Spider-Man for the 15th time. And there are also, oh, there's a cutscene soon, so I think I'm gonna stop talking right here. Alright, so what was I talking about? Anyway, the hint thing, you will often be in a spot where you're stuck and you're begging for a hint, you're begging for a character to say something or for the thing to pop up and tell you something a character can do that you didn't know they could do, and it never happens, and you usually end up wandering around for like 10 minutes and finally figuring it out. But even then, I didn't get stuck too often inside this game. I didn't think it was one of the more difficult LEGO games, and I don't really think many of them are too difficult, but enough people seem to find them challenging enough to look up a walkthrough, so here I am. Now, for the Dr. Octopus fight, what you need to do is wait for him to smash his tentacles into the ground, and then use, I think, any character. I use Captain America. Go around him or go near the tentacle that's stuck in the ground and press B. Now for this tentacle, I couldn't see it because it was hidden behind the truck, so I couldn't really see where I was supposed to stand. So I couldn't get that first hit on him, but I do manage to get the next 4. And you'll see, like right here, he gets his tentacles stuck again. I switch to Captain America, who then zaps the tentacle, and that is 1 heart that will be gone after he jumps away. So he will smash back down, do more damage to the city, and then jump up, attack you again. He'll do a lot of these ground slamming type attacks, and you just need to jump to dodge them. That's pretty much the easiest way. And then eventually he will do his big "I'm gonna kill you" tentacle attack, and that will get stuck. And you do that 3 more times and you will finish this level.
Why didn't I see this coming? Another arm stuck! My arms! The beloved mechanical arms! You suffer for this! Get them!
Give it up. Crime never pays.
You'd be surprised. It covers medical and dental.
Can't escape the long reach of justice, Ark.
Stop being so grabby, Doc.
I got it!
I got it! I got it! Yeah!